calling DL 4930982, Karkirpa 1 LLC, doing business as the Liquor Barn.
We have remonstrators on this? I don't remember remonstrators standing up and announcing themselves.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be heard or not.
Okay.
It just depends.
We're going to move forward with the case?
Okay.
No, would you like to move forward with the case today?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Then we'll have the remonstrators come up. We'll need to identify them. So you gentlemen have a seat right there. Why don't we have the remonstrators? How many? 2? 3? We have 3 seats right over here.
Are the remonstrators, are you guys set to move forward?
Are you guys ready to move forward?
Okay.
Okay.
Give me just a second.
All right, guys, we'll run through this real quickly. We'll, do we have violations?
No violations.
Okay, so there's no violations. So we will give you a chance to speak to the board, explain how it's going and what you would like to do in the future. Then we will give the remonstrators a chance to explain why they are here, why they have a differing opinion, and then we will come back to you and you will have a chance to address any of those questions and then any of the questions that the board may have for you as well. Okay. Fair? Okay. We'll just hang on one second.
Yeah, just a second.
There's a violation that's there.
So is this like new or renewal?
No, this is, you guys have had this license for a couple of years now, right?
He transferred to me, like, he had this license before.
Like starting of this year, yeah.
Yeah, transferred it to you.
Yes.
But we're not transferring today.
No.
We just have some paperwork confusion because you're in the violation category, but you don't have any violations. So we're trying to, must just be, do they have a 1 year? Or?
No, what it is there's remonstrators that's against the renewal.
So they're just here for a regular renewal.
The remonstrators, from what I understand from Officer Bell, was telling me that they have some questions on something that was agreed upon.
Sure, I remember
last year.
some lights, maybe
So they
some
have
paint,
issues
maybe
with that.
some things like that.
Yes.
I remember
They
some.
wanna
I remember
address.
you. All right, we'll wait for our officer, and in a very positive way. But we'll wait for our officer and secretary to come on back, and then we'll begin.
Okay.
All right, first things first, we'll have you two identify yourselves and the relationship to the business. And who would like to start?
My name is Gurjinder Singh, and I'm the owner of the liquor license. Right?
You are the current owner of the liquor license. Mr. Singh. Okay, sir.
And I'm manager for Gurjinder Singh.
And
Manager, yeah.
Your manager?
Yeah.
Are you related?
Yes, he's my little brother.
All right.
You used to own the permit, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then you transferred it to him, correct?
And now it's going back?
No, today,
No.
we're just here for a regular renewal.
Renewals.
For a renewal with remonstration.
Okay.
And then if we go ahead and have the remonstrators identify yourself, please.
My name is Chris Staab. I'm with the Near East Side Community Organization known as NESCO.
Thank you, Mr. Staub.
Gabriel Bockus.
And gentlemen, is there a green light on? Yeah, there you go.
Gabriel Bockus. I'm a resident of the neighborhood as well as an employee of Shepherd Community Center, which operates in the same neighborhood as the business.
Can you spell your last name for me?
Bockus.
And sir.
My name is Jim Spychalski. I am a neighborhood representative to NESCO from the Hollywood Place Neighborhood Organization, which is immediately adjacent to the west of Grace Tuxedo, and I am a former representative of the Grace Tuxedo Neighborhood Organization to NESCO.
Fantastic.
If you would spell your last name for me.
Last name is spelled S as in Sam, P as in Paul, Y-C-H-A-L-S-K-I.
And you can leave that green light on, please. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Singh. What's going on? You'd like to renew your permit? How long have you had your permit?
For 6 months now.
For 6 months?
Yes.
Any violations?
No.
No. What would you say? Excuse me?
It's a liquor barn. Is that a liquor store?
It's a liquor store, yes.
It's a liquor store. You've had that license now transferred from one brother to the other for 6 months with no violations.
Yes.
How have your interactions been with the neighborhood?
It's been good.
Been good?
We have no complaints with
Okay.
other stores. Then
Has anybody from the neighborhood or neighborhood organizations reaced out to you at any time? No? Okay. Would you like to hear from the remonstrators why they're here? Okay. Mr. Staab?
Sir, we were here on June 19th for the transfer of the license, which was 20 weeks ago.
Yes.
At that point, we brought in 6 community concerns from the community, one being loitering on the premises, second being consumption of alcohol on the premises, third being sales to the already inebriated customers, fourth was a code enforcement violation that there still were fines that were unpaid. The fifth one was a soil and gas sampling well, where we were hoping to find the sampling wells and have them identified and keep them unobstructed. And then the sixth one was the parking lot conditions, general maintenance on the building, brush overgrowth, and exterior lighting.
Okay.
In the 20 weeks that we were here, we had asked for a 1-year probationary license at this point, not aware that the natural cycle of the license would come back up at this time. The owners had said that they would take care of these community concerns in a very timely manner, and the neighborhood has not seen this happen. So the president of the Grace Tuxedo neighborhood has written a remonstrance as well. So I have 4 copies for the board, one for the records. We have one for the owners as well.
There's actually, yeah, give him 2. Yep. One for the record. Yeah. Did you get one? Okay. That's it.
I did not bring copies of the concerns that we had, but the only concern that we had seen that actually was taken care of was the brush that was overgrown on the south fence wall was actually cut back. But,
Now let me ask, I believe both parties, didn't you meet separately before our meeting last time?
we had talked, yes.
And you guys had spoken and came to agreements?
yes, we
Is that
have
fair
been
to
taking
say?
care of everything, but I don't know what's the new violations they were asking about.
We paint our building, we make the light changes and
Can you
everything.
speak up a second? I'm just having a hard.
We paint our building.
Now, hang on. Did they paint their building?
No.
Yes,
Now, how
we
could
did.
we? Yeah, that would be.
We can show you that we painted it.
Did you
And
bring any evidence
Because
that
he
you...
never came to the property and talked to me personally or talked to him personally that we need to do this again.
We changed the lights and stuff and everything in there.
Well, now, in one regard, if you guys agreed to it before the last meeting, then there shouldn't be a need to come back,
No,
I guess.
I'm saying we have done, so after that, they never came up to us and.
Oh,
talked to
after
me.
the
Yeah.
work was done, they haven't been by to inspect it. Was anybody clear in stating about the painting? It was inside, outside, what wall? Did you know exactly what they were asking you to paint?
The building.
I
this
guess.
building, yeah. There's
So-
nothing more, it's just building over there, painted inside and outside.
So you're saying they did not paint the
It was-
inside or the outside of that building?
When we were here on June 19th, there was graffiti on the east wall of the building. The graffiti is still there.
They can come back anytime and they did it, but we have done the paint, if you look at the building.
Okay.
All right, let's move, what else was on the list, sir?
We were out there on Saturday evening and discussing the potential code violations that we were seeing, and Mr. Bowden and myself were parked on New York Street just witnessing what was going on. We did actually watch several people loitering and consuming on the premises.
At any point, did you contact the authorities?
We did not, because the authorities ended up arriving for some people that were already inebriated on the north side of the north side of New York Street. We thought it was for one person that was actually asleep, and it turned out that there was a second person, a woman, who had to be transported.
But that wasn't on their
So
property.
It wasn't on their property, and we can't pin that happened because of them. But the authorities were in the area, and we did talk with the officers regarding why we were sitting outside the building.
Okay. What else do you have?
And just looking from what we had seen on Saturday, we do have Marion County Municipal Codes Title III Public Health and Welfare, Article 4 Performance Standards, Chapter 740-105A8, Civil Zoning. The dumpster is not in the enclosure, and the fence that is on the enclosure is part of the fence is actually gone. So the dumpster actually does not fit in the enclosure. We do have graffiti on the east wall. There is no handicap parking designation or marking on the building or on the parking lot. And there are inoperable parking lot lights and the covers that cover the fluorescent tubes. So there are 8 fluorescent tubes that are exposed on the parking lot.
Now, Mr. Staab, you've been to a few of these meetings. Does everyone agree that most of those do not fall within the parameters of the Alcohol Board's authority?
No, we didn't.
So have you gone to the appropriate agencies in the city that can help you with that? We can't enforce
Oh, I understand.
lighting.
I understand.
Okay.
But one of the fines that they had gotten from September 13 of 2016 were from the dumpster violation, to which they were brought into compliance. They were fined, but because they were tardy in compliance, they were also additionally fined, and that's where the outstanding fees still are. So they had made a payment on November 14th of 2016 of $215 for the original fines on the dumpster violations, but still have outstanding fees of $75. And that was something that we brought to the community concerns, that these were all minor and all maintenance issues. They weren't extraordinarily critical issues, but we had asked that they address these issues. And as far as the community is concerned, we have lost trust because we have not seen any improvement whatsoever other than the brush being cut off of the back wall.
Now,
Mr. Staab, have you guys contacted the city again, referenced the covers for the light bulbs, and referenced the dumpster, and referenced the other things that you pointed out on your list? Have you guys contacted the city to see if they
We will be
come
doing
back
that
out?
this evening at a code enforcement meeting.
With the handicap parking and things like that? That's
sir.
a city concern that needs to be addressed with them, and then fined by the city if they're not into compliance with
So
that.
the Near East Side Community Organization had a discussion at our October meeting that we did not want to shut this business down. If we gave them a chance for them to comply, and obviously 20 weeks should have been ample time for this to, the minor things, which should have been very easy to take care of, should have been brought into compliance. And we feel that we have lost their trust. So at this point, this is why we are back. And we have had other issues where this particular neighborhood, the Grace Tuxedo neighborhood, is one of IMPD's focus zones, focus areas where we have a high crime rate and an extraordinarily high need for social services. At this point, we are trying to find any ways that we can to address these issues where Shepherd Community has not only their Shepherd project or their Shalom project, but also Project 46201 to address the neighbors' concerns and try to help them out with their quality of life concerns. And at this point, since we have lost the trust as the owners being good stewards to the community, this is why we are back. So while we had in June asked for a 1-year probationary license, not knowing that this was the natural cycle of the license, the NESCO community says, well, if they meet our demands from the original 6, then we would still remain to ask for a probationary license. But if they're not meeting any of our concerns, then we would probably do a request to deny their renewal.
okay. You gentlemen have heard from the Neighborhood Association. Do you have any plans to address any of the issues you spoke about previously?
Like the loitering and the consumption on site, we've been calling cops and telling them to take care of them because they won't listen to us. They're threatening us to kill us. So it's that kind of neighborhood, you know, that we can't really argue with them. They will come back to us about that. But we do call cops. I mean, you can check call history or anything that would prove us that we did call them and tell them to take care of the situation, that we can handle it.
It doesn't sound like you have an open dialogue with the community leaders. Do you ever reach out to them or talk to them about their concerns after you do the work or that they ask you to do? Do you go back and get them to come out and look at it and see if that...
Well, it's not your responsibility, and I don't understand why you're doing all the talking, because it's your permit.
Yes.
You need to be speaking. He transferred the permit to you last year, so we can care less about what he has to say.
Okay.
I care about what you have to say since it's your permit.
Did you make any commitments?
That's what I'm saying. We paint the building and everything. Some of the things are not being taken care of, but we will take it very soon. Like he said, east side bush is not being cut. We will take it. It's
When
not
you
there.
say soon, what does that mean to you? It just means different things.
Because they say it's been 20 how many?
Exactly 20 weeks from today.
20 weeks that they spoke to you about it.
And I can argue on their side, though. 20 weeks.
But we did some work.
business.
It's still in there. We did paint and everything is still on there, right? They haven't checked anything on there.
You realize we live in a community and we drive by your property almost
But we
daily,
said
sometimes
we
hourly.
painted everything. We have the new lights in there and everything.
You have new lights on the side of the building,
Inside.
Yes.
Inside.
on the soffits. But the parking lot lights have not been addressed. There are littering issues that have not been addressed. The dumpster issue has not been addressed.
I don't think we have any violation on the dumpster right now.
And there is that, gentlemen. I just think at some point, if this board calls for a vote right now, these gentlemen have, by all accounts, ran their business according to the state laws as a liquor store, state and local laws as a liquor store. A lot of the violations do not fall within our jurisdiction. I don't want to push it off on anybody, but we don't have the legal authority to deny them a license based on the handicap space, which I wholeheartedly believe they need to have and should have, and their dumpsters need to be in accordance with the city laws and ordinances. But as this board sits here right now, we don't have that legal authority to deny on those issues.
And this is why we are here, is because the community has lost the trust of the owners as being good stewards to the community.
Okay. Well, I can understand that. Do you gentlemen have any intention of, in the next 20 weeks, if you take a full year from ownership, from the transfer, from you to you, do you plan on addressing any of these issues within the first calendar year? Sir, I'm talking to you.
Yes, we will take care of that stuff.
Now, you're under oath, so now we're talking about commitments we're making to the board. And you are?
Yes.
Are you sure? You don't sound...
Yeah, I need to hear you say it. I feel like you're...
I don't want to be here every year or every 6 months talking about the same old thing. Either you're going to be a good steward in the neighborhood or you're not going to be a good steward in the neighborhood. And these are certain criteria. This is what happens when you want to move your business into a neighborhood. You don't take care of your business. You're downgrading their neighborhood is pretty much what they're saying. Your business is an eyesore. You're not taking care of the graffiti. You're not taking care of the dumpsters. You don't have the handicap spots. There's not enough lighting around because it is a high crime area, so they want your establishment to be well lit. So if you don't want to be a good steward in the neighborhood, then transfer your permit to someone else who's willing to take care of not only the property, but the business as well. So I think this is what this amounts to.
So, Mr. Singh, let's start again. Do you intend to honor the commitments you've made to the neighborhood association by the end of your calendar year?
Yes, sir. I will take care of everything that's been left, like the lights and stuff and everything.
So the lights?
Lights and
The trash?
handicap park. But we don't have any violation on dumpster right now. I think we take care of it, right?
Yeah, it's been taken care of.
Okay, so that's been taken care of. So your lights
Lights and the handicap parking.
and the handicap
And the
parking
bush on the east side.
and the shrubs.
Rest.
The shrubbery was the only thing that was actually taken care of.
All right, so you're halfway done.
So I tell you what, I'm supposed to be out at your neighborhood on Thursday, right?
Yes.
So why don't you guys attend that? Can they attend your
They
neighborhood
can.
meeting?
Yes, they can.
So why don't you guys attend that neighborhood meeting, and let's walk over like little kids over to your establishment, and we can point out exactly what needs to be done, so there's no misunderstanding of what needs to take place, what they would like to see at your establishment, okay? So we can do that. Thursday, 5:30. You guys can convene after we're done here, and you can give them the time and the location. Please be there.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to call for a vote now. This is just a renewal?
Yes.
All right, we're going to call for a renewal vote. Before we do so, I'd like to thank you guys for what you do for your community.
Absolutely.
You do a really good job.
A probationary renewal.
I'm going to make a motion for a 1 year, so that'll be the same scenario we've just operated under. Give everybody a chance to honor commitments to our neighborhood and to our operators here.
And then this will be a true 1-year renewal.
So I'm going to make a motion for a 1-year renewal.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you.
Thank you.